From the WKYT studios in Lexington, this is Kentucky Newsmakers with Bill Bryant.
Good morning from WKYT News. The new school year is underway, and later we'll hear about some excitement and challenges on the UK campus. UK Provost Dr. Tim Tracy is with us a little later. But first, with more people in town and on the move, it's also a busy time for Lexington Police as they get their game plan together for the football season opener next weekend. Just before classes started, police had to deal with an off-campus incident at a party, and the calls for service always jump at this time of year. Lexington Police Chief Mark Barnard is joining us this morning to update us on crime trends and what is happening out there, and he's also doing some hiring at the police department, and we'll ask about that. Chief, thanks for coming.
Thank you all for having me.
First off, just a timely item as we're recording this, a couple of gang-related arrests in Lexington going into the weekend. What is that about?
Well, we are constantly monitoring gang activity. We have a unit, an intel unit, and gang resource officer units that are constantly evaluating, monitoring gangs in Lexington. Those gangs are loosely associated with national gangs, that they're not really formed into a large organizational gang component, but they are with youth violence, and you're seeing youth turn to it. We're watching social media. So we have those individuals under surveillance, and when we see gang activity, those are misdemeanor arrests. We have worked a operation to watch that, especially with violence this summer, so that we can look at those individuals and their activity, and we saw some initiation activities, and we've worked with the county attorney's office and made an arrest in some of those. So we try to stay proactive instead of reactive on those issues, and doing some of these arrests and citations just lets them know that we're watching, we're out there, and we're not going to let it get a foothold in Lexington.
Do you coordinate with law enforcement agencies in other communities?
We do. We have a tremendous gang resource officers here. We work with our federal partners and other state agencies and local agencies. Our officers travel throughout the state talking about gangs, doing gang training for other agencies. We've sent our officers all the way out to California and LA and worked with their gang unit just so we can see the trends and what's happening, because we don't want it to come to Lexington and be a foothold. But if you ignore the issue with social media and with all the other recruiting efforts, if you ignore those issues and aren't on top of it, then it can come in and get a foothold. So that's what we're trying to assure doesn't happen.
As you mentioned, there have been shootings and other problems over the summer. It does seem to have been somewhat calmer this year than last. What do the numbers show?
Well, our numbers show, if you're tracking Part 1 crimes and you're looking at those numbers in Lexington, we're down compared to the previous year. I try never to relate a victim to a number, but when you're looking at the crimes that are occurring in Lexington, our numbers are lower this year compared to last year. I attribute that to really the officers not backing down with the national trends and sitting back. They're still out engaging the community. They're still working in the community. They're still motivated to do their jobs, and I appreciate everything they're doing. Right now, the national trends, it's tough for law enforcement. We have to look at our profession and make corrections, but they're still out there doing their jobs and engaging the community. And quite honestly, the community's been very helpful to us. And making sure when we're out and doing the peace marches, or we're out doing the neighborhood meetings or at other events, they've been very supportive.
And you believe in doing a lot of those community building activities with the police department, so much to the point that, and people may not be aware of this, but you have changed the name of the police department recently.
Well, we have. We really want to simplify things and be known, and it has been a very long time. And if you go to a meeting, someone introduces you, you're from the Lexington-Fayette Urban County Government Division of Police. People don't relate to that because they block it out after the first few words. So we've worked in trying to our recruiting efforts, not only locally but nationally, and we worked with Bullhorn Productions, and they said, look, simplify it. You have to be known of who you are. We're from Lexington, we're the police department, and we're the Lexington Police Department. And that really simplifies it, especially on the recruiting trail. Recruiting's difficult nationally, not only locally but nationally right now. So we're really competing with other agencies.
As you continue to tweak the police department, recognize those issues that are going on locally and nationally with law enforcement and that trust in the community, are you changing training as officers are coming in and the ongoing education for those who are on the force?
Absolutely. Education's a huge component, and it's one of our best recruiting efforts. When you graduate from our academy, we're the only one regionally that you graduate, and maybe I don't know any other in the country right now with an associate's degree. Then we pay for a Pathways program to Eastern Kentucky University that will pay for your bachelor's degree, and then we have opportunities for you to earn your master's degree. We believe in education because we show, and all the information shows, the more education you have, the less force you use. Problem solving, critical thinking, those are the key components. That differs from training, which is reactive, and this is proactive, and we want both aspects of that.
You are trying to recruit right now close to 100 officers. I mean, you have, what, 53 in this new class, and then you're trying to get some more.
We just met with the mayor and his staff yesterday. They've authorized us. We're hiring 53 in this class coming up in October. We just hired a class of 43, and we're looking at another class of 40 in the spring. So we're increasing our numbers. We're increasing the service to the community. We're very proactive. It is difficult, I'll be honest, right now nationally for recruitment and hiring. The economy is really good. Lexington's economy and unemployment rates are very low. So I'm competing with all businesses, and I have to attract them. But the key thing I think about it, Bill, is we offer the opportunity to really participate in the community, make a difference, and it's not just about the enforcement model. Those days are over for the policing in Lexington. We are more about problem-oriented solving policing, quality of life policing, and there's so much to do in the law enforcement agency other than just the old model of locking people up. And if people really want to affect change and be part of that, we're a great opportunity for them.
Well, how do you do this recruiting these days? I mean, you know, it used to be, you know, you go off, there's career day, you set up a table and put a cloth over it, and people come ask questions. You're saying in this difficult environment that they may not be stepping up to ask those questions.
Well, exactly right. And who are you really targeting to bring into your agency, and what do you want your agency to look like? And you can look at the different tier levels. You'll always have the levels, like EKU has one of the top schools in the nation. We're just blessed to have them. All those students are going there to go into law enforcement. What we're looking for is not only those students, but blending other prospective students from liberal arts schools, from different vocations to come in, so we're not a cookie cutter organization. So we have a different perspective on everything that we're doing. So social media is a big part. When you see Dallas Police Department at Moorhead recruiting officers, you know it's competitive through the United States. So just putting a table up anymore or saying we want people or wrapping a bus isn't going to do it. So we have to sell. I believe Lexington is a great community, a great place to live. That's my first recruiting pitch. If you want a great place to live or a great place to have a family, a vibrant downtown, Lexington's a place for you. The second part is, if you really want to help in a community, make a difference, go out and really serve, then this is a great agency. So combining those components, selling Lexington is a great place, and then our agency is a great organization, and all the things that you can affect by working in our job. People see it usually as a uniform driving around in a car, and it is so much more than that. There is a social work aspect to it. The things that the officers are doing, I never would have thought just getting out of a car throwing a football, and somebody caught one of our officers, and I say caught, but videoed them and sent it into the agency saying, we appreciate you doing this, throwing a football with the kids on the corner. Over 20,000 hits. That's amazing. And the officers are doing that every day. It's just never, people haven't taken the time to catch those on their cell phones or send them in. And I appreciate it because I know they're doing it, but it provides an opportunity for everybody else to see how engaged they are.
Well, describe this different kind of officer that you're looking for these days. You know, 20 years ago, it would have been a different kind of person. You've been at the department almost 30 years. So is it less of a military type organization?
Absolutely. So if you're looking at the old model of policing, the old enforcement model, it was write a lot of citations, get out, effect an arrest, and solve a problem. We're looking at officers that look at it at a different level. So we're not looking at the paramilitary organization as much. We're looking at critical thinking, problem-solving officers that can go in and say, if this is the issue, don't just arrest and get rid of the issue. What are the underlying issues that are working to make that happen? So actually Commissioner Ford with Social Services has been very helpful, and we're working and partnering with him to say, if we find these issues, social services is truly the answer in funneling their resources to that. So we're looking for officers that are unique, that can think and problem solve, and we've really taken the organization and allowed them to make decisions on those levels. Paramilitary organizations, everything goes up in a funnel. We've reversed it and say, at your level, you have the authority to make decisions. And when you're talking about leadership, You take someone at 21, 22 years of age and they say, where's leadership in your organization? When you're going into a house, a domestic violence issue or some other issue, and you have the authority to make an arrest or solve that issue, everyone on our agency is a leader because they have to make those decisions independently. So we have to be strong in our training and make sure we're consistent with our training, making good decisions.
Where is Lexington in the wide use of body cameras? I know there's money in the budget for that. Will that be rolled out soon? And
We are. We started before Ferguson happened. We got a grant, and we've been looking at body cameras consistently. Body cameras, like anything else, like any other business, have imploded so quickly onto law enforcement that everybody's competing. I want what's best for the community and what's best for Lexington and what is going to be the best for the Commonwealth and county attorneys in presenting evidence. So we support it. We're looking at them. We have tried 3 different body cameras. We have another set that we're in right now in a program and looking at it. And it's not as simple as the body camera, but it's the system that supports the body cameras. And we want to make sure that we have that system in place, because the worst thing you can do is rush in and get body cameras and then have a bunch of failures on the system aspect. Then it doesn't look that you're being transparent. So we want to be very upfront. We're including other people in our policies and talking to people, and we're working with other outside entities to make sure we're on track with it.
All right, you never know what kind of call you're going to get. We had this report of a drone that landed on the Blue Building, the Fifth Third Bank Building in downtown Lexington. A councilman wants, you know, the drone operators to get some more training and education. There's a state law being proposed. Does the police department need some authority to govern drones?
You know, the drone issue has been going on for so long that, and the FAA has really been slow to react to that. But there are tremendous issues. Fire departments in California have had to deal with them, and you're looking now at the penitentiary, some of the corrections where they're dropping in contraband with the drones. So I think it's an issue that we have to be up front and looking at. So I'm a little bit concerned about it, quite honestly. I'm not concerned about the casual user, but the criminal aspect of it is really concerning.
With school back in session, UK bringing 30,000 students to campus.
That's fantastic.
It really is. But do your officers notice a difference in the number of calls to service, to the calls to particular areas?
Well, every year we get together and we work, and we're fortunate enough to have a former chief at UK, Chief Beatty, that we're talking with consistently about issues. So we work on the peripheral edges of campus. We put resources there every year. There's an educational component, there's an enforcement component, but really we're looking at the safety of the students in those areas. So we do an email blast and we tell them, here's exactly what's going on. We do door hangers. This is what we're going to be. We're going to be in the areas, making sure everyone's safe. Because remember, when you came to college and you're a freshman, you loved to go to those parties outside.
And early on, right there on the edge of campus, just before classes started, you had the issue with the assault with a fence post or whatever at a party.
Absolutely.
So
those parties and those are what we call at-risk indicators, and when you're seeing those, the officers are making sure they're stopping by. We can't hit every one of those, but we are in those areas and working. And I think we're pretty close to making an arrest on that one. I think we've identified the individuals and we're still working the cases, and that's been really fortunate for us.
All right, the season opener for the Wildcats next weekend. Fans will get to look at that newly renovated Commonwealth Stadium, but what is the game plan for keeping the party safe in those neighborhoods, you know, under control?
We consistently tweak, and we do after-action reports every game, every season, to make sure that we understand what's going on and what to expect. I mean, we have big games. We know Louisville is going to be a big game this year, and so we're looking at the opener with the new stadium. So we work in concert with UK, so they'll cover inside the stadium. Lexington will have the outside of the stadium and some of the areas on State Street and those areas. So we work in concert together, getting people in and out of the stadium. The parking's always an issue, especially on the first game, but I'm sure UK has a good plan with that. Alumni Drive's open now. That'll be a little bit because it's so new to everybody getting people in, but we work pretty well together, and they know what we're doing and we know what they're doing, so it'll be a good, safe time.
And as to those neighborhoods around, I mean, you have to kind of coordinate with the university and when
We
you
do.
do that?
We do. We put door hangers out and we talk. And the nice thing, even with State Street, anytime we're having large events, we have a neighborhood resource officer assigned to the UK area. We have our clear officers, which are neighborhood officers, and we actually go door to door. And we know most of the kids there. So this is beginning of school. New people are moving in and out, but we go door to door, introduce ourselves. We're the officers in this area. Here's the expectations. Here's what we can't have. This is the boundaries that you have to look at. So we're up front with them, and they respond really well. The problem, the issue is when other people come into the area, and then like we had the party the other night and the outside influences. So, but we get calls. They call us and say, here's what's going on, and we respond to it. So we have a great relationship with that outside area.
Chief Mark Barnard of the Lexington Police Department, thank you for being with us. We
Thank
appreciate
you
it very much. All right, coming up next, we'll meet the UK Provost as classes get rolling at the home of the Wildcats, coming up on WKYT. And welcome back to Kentucky Newsmakers on WKYT. It's an exciting time on the University of Kentucky campus. Thousands of college students begin the fall semester. There is change everywhere you look around UK right now, with plush new dorms opening up, renovations being completed at Commonwealth Stadium, and massive projects continuing around the UK Med Center as well. The incoming class is diverse. Students come from all 120 Kentucky counties. The UK Provost is Dr. Tim Tracy. Provost Tracy began his career as a registered pharmacist, working behind the counter at locations in Ohio before going back to school. After several years in academics, he landed at UK in 2010 as Dean of the School of Pharmacy and has now been the university's provost since 2012. Dr. Tracy joining us, and we welcome you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
Well, even though you have spent, as we might say, these many years on a college campus, is there still excitement in the air for you when the new year gets off and rolling?
Oh, it's tremendous excitement to see those 30,000 students arrive, the energy, the bubbliness of all of them. And my office, fortunately, is on a corner right there in the most busy section of campus, and so I can watch them right out my office window. And just to watch the smiles on their faces and the excitement of going to class is just tremendous.
And you probably look at them and you think of what's ahead and know that the changes that we've seen, that they're going to see probably more than we have.
Oh, absolutely. I think they get younger every year, but then that's probably me getting older. But I think about some of the statistics. You know, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says that the people graduating today will have on average 15 jobs by the time they're 37.
Wow.
And so it's a very different world than you and I grew up in, and the opportunities for them and the new things, that the jobs that aren't even created yet that they'll have an opportunity to do is just really exciting.
Let's talk about the makeup of the student body. Tell us who they are. What are the major areas of study on campus?
Sure. It's our most diverse class we've ever had, also our most academically prepared class coming in as freshmen. Our students are going to be over 30,000 again for 2 years in a row, and we'll bring in more than 5,200 freshmen this year. They represent all 52 Kentucky counties, or all 120 Kentucky counties, all 52 states across our entire population of students, and tens of foreign countries as well.
And what are the major areas that they seem to be pointing toward right now?
Well, certainly what we call the STEM fields are very popular. Science, technology, engineering, and math are very popular fields. We have a lot of students in the fine arts. We even have students from Inner Mongolia studying in our College of Fine Arts and Music. So our signature programs are really bringing in people from across the world for study here at UK, and again, lots of different programs.
How important is that kind of diversity on a college campus, and that there be people from around the world that are here, in addition to the fact that out-of-state students bring you a higher tuition, but you also say it brings value to the campus?
It brings tremendous value because you have that richness of the diversity of opinions and experiences. And you know, we're in a global interconnected economy now, and we have to prepare our students to be part of that global economy and that interconnectedness across the entire world. They will hold jobs not only across the United States but across the world, and so being experienced, having experiences with those cultures, with those people, with those different backgrounds, really makes them a much richer student.
Do you hope to work to keep them connected to the university once they graduate and move on?
Absolutely. You know, we're about community. and I hope that they're all feeling part of the UK family. And so having them connected through our Alumni Association, through regular communications with us, is a way to keep them involved with the university, and certainly they are the reputation of the University of Kentucky.
Well, they're there at a time of major transition and change on campus. There are many exciting new facilities being built or coming online. The largest student Starbucks in America, for example. Yeah. These plush new dorms, they must, you know, they think they've got it made, huh?
Well, certainly there's some very nice facilities. You know, we have underway $1.8 billion in construction. And I think that would match any college campus on the country right now in terms of transformation. We want to be a thriving residential university, and to do that you need the students, the faculty, the staff, and the facilities all to make that happen. We just opened the 90, which is one of the most innovative dining experiences in the country on a college campus. Wholesome fresh food prepared right in front of you, and it's a $30 million building, 80,000 square feet, that also contains classrooms on the second floor. We will have built 6,500 new dorm beds by fall of 2017. And to serve our students, and we know that students who live on campus have higher success rates. And so it's a way to help them succeed, because that's our ultimate goal, is to make sure those students succeed and graduate.
The university has gone out and privatized a lot of things, and including those new dorms that are going up. Do you think that that strategy will, in the long run, be one that you'll be happy to have adopted?
Well, I think so. And, you know, it's $420 million put in by EDR, Education Realty Trust, a publicly traded company. We do receive land leases from that, so there is revenue back to the university. But it gives us a way. We could not have raised $420 million to build those dorms ourselves. Likewise, with the partnership with Aramark, and the money that they put in allowed us to build these dining facilities that we were not able to do. So it's a great public-private partnership.
It's been said in recent years that many major universities, including flagship universities, are becoming what you might call publicly assisted rather than publicly funded. Give us an idea of where the university gets its money. Research is a big area, I know. Obviously, there is development, that is where you ask people to give to the university. How does the money come in?
Sure. Well, there's really four fundamental sources of revenue. The state. And the state of Kentucky provides us with about $280 million, and we're very appreciative of that. That helps us do a lot of things. Tuition is obviously a source of revenue for us. Then the grants and contracts, which is about $350 million of research grants and contracts, and the other is development. And those gifts by our wonderful friends and alumni that we greatly appreciate.
And you say you're having to kind of shift strategy there a little bit as the employment landscape changes as well, right?
Sure. As you look at development, we had many people who were independent business people, and now many of them are employees as we have consolidations and so forth. So you begin to think about different ways of approaching them, and maybe things about gifts and wills and bequests, that type of thing, where it gives us a chance to not only have revenue now, but revenue later in the future. So you have those.
Some of those companies will sometimes match some of their gifts.
Very much so, and we're very appreciative of that when companies are willing to match the gifts by their employees.
All right, we'll talk a little Big Blue in a moment. Renovations at Commonwealth Stadium are extensive. Football fans will get to see that next weekend. We're back in just a moment as we visit with Dr. Tim Tracy, who is the UK Provost on Kentucky Newsmakers. Welcome back in. WKYT's Kentucky Newsmakers back to school at the University of Kentucky and at campuses all around our Commonwealth right now. Dr. Tim Tracy is UK's Provost, and we've been talking about the excitement of a brand new year, and of course the excitement of football season is just about here. The renovations at Commonwealth Stadium are extensive, and football fans will get a chance to see it next Saturday.
Absolutely. You know, I got the opportunity last Saturday evening at our Big Blue U for the students coming in to spend some time in the stadium and walk around the field, and it is just gorgeous. It's going to be a tremendous experience for the fans, a tremendous facility for our players, and we can't wait to open that first game in a couple weeks.
And, you know, we've talked to the police chief about sort of the game plan for the Lexington police and so forth. You have your own plan about keeping things orderly, right?
Absolutely. You know, Joe Monroe, our police chief, does a wonderful job with game day preparations, and he has the full plan ready to implement.
The Kentucky Colonel is going to publish less frequently. They're going to shift to a more digital focus, as a lot of news organizations around America have done. Is that just following the market, even on a campus?
You know, I think so. And we look at our students and how they gather their news and how they get their information. And we know that essentially every student has a digital device, be it a phone or an iPad. In fact, about 90% of our students have at least two. And so that's their way that they get information. So I see this to be a trend nationally, and not really anything specific to the Colonel, but a way to better reach their audience.
And again, as you think safety in this new year on campus, you will be communicating any information to students that you need to do in that most urgent way, right?
Absolutely. You know, we have a very sophisticated system of alerts that alert students of any potential issues that are around campus. Our police and other forces do that very, very well. And so we make sure that we create the most safe environment we can for our students.
University usually has a wish list that it gets together before the legislature comes to town, and they're going to do that in a few months, and there will be a new governor in charge. So is UK communicating its needs to lawmakers and to these potential governors, these candidates who are running right now?
Well, certainly we're preparing that. I first need to say that we're tremendously appreciative of the legislature for, in the middle of the biennium, opening up the budget and giving us $132 million to help fund that new research building to address those problems. Very critical, Kentucky, those health disparities. So that $265 million building, half of it funded by us and half through the legislature through appropriations of funding, we're tremendously appreciative. So we're always working in partnership with them to do what's right for the Commonwealth and to continue to advance the University of Kentucky.
So developing your sort of legislative agenda, I would say, at this point, huh?
Exactly.
All right. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. To Dr. Tim Tracy, who is the provost at the University of Kentucky. Here's to a good school year ahead.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Kentucky Newsmakers here on WKYT. We'll see you bright and early on WKYT this morning. Weekdays, we start at 4:30 a.m. And we hope you make it a good week ahead.